This is the Hohem iSteady V2. On the face of it, it's just another mobile phone gimbal, and an average one at best in my opinion. But it's got one feature which I think makes this product stand out and makes me quite excited for what's to come in the future. So we're back. It's been quite a while since we made a video, at least a few months. It's been an absolutely crazy few months. We're filming weddings. Obviously we moved house here, so we've got a new YouTube studio, got married as well. So it's been absolutely crazy, but we're back on the bandwagon and ready to film more videos. And this video happens to be about a mobile phone gimbal called the Hohem iSteady V2. Full disclosure, they did send me this product for free to review, and they also gave me an NDA, so I got to test it before it came out. But that released in April, so yeah, I think we've kind of missed the boat with that. A quick note on mobile phone gimbals though. While I do think they're useful for most people, I also think that stabilization is getting so good in these phones. If you look at stabilization on like the iPhone 12, for example, it's so good that if you've got a good ninja walk, you won't necessarily need a mobile phone gimbal. So my stance on phone gimbals, while I think some people might find them useful, I do think they're slowly dying out due to the phone stabilization. And I think these gimbal manufacturers are actually cottoning on to the fact that phone stabilization is so good, and so they're always adding extra gimmicks to the gimbals, and so every phone gimbal that comes out has a new gimmick. But in my opinion, these sort of phone gimbals, they always lose out to the ease of use of just having a phone with good stabilization. But this is where the Hohem iSteady V2 comes in. In an age where the gimmick is first and the gimbal is second, Hohem might actually be onto something here. The winning feature here, this little AI camera here. So this camera built into the gimbal allows the gimbal to track your movements and follow you around with no device required. Okay, so obviously most smartphone gimbals have some sort of tracking feature in them, but the caveat is you normally have to use the app. While Hohem does have an app that you can connect the gimbal to and track yourself with it, you're not actually tied down to using this app because all the tracking features are built into the gimbal itself, because the camera is on the gimbal. All you have to do is turn the AI camera on, do the slightly awkward gesture, and this opens up a whole new world of opportunities. If you wanted to use the Filmic Pro app, for example, and film 10-bit log while tracking, you can. If you wanted to use this feature for video calls, you can. You can even track yourself around the room in a FaceTime call. It's not new in the tech world, but it's definitely something fresh for phone gimbals. And it works surprisingly well too. It's very sticky in normal use. Okay, so this is the Hohem iSteady V2. Got it on a tripod, and I'm just going to go walk as far back as I can and see how far it'll actually track me backwards. So if I just do the gesture, you'll notice it lock onto me there. Hopefully you saw that in the footage. And I'm just going to walk as far back as possible. You see, if I'm this close to the camera, it will follow me around. The pan is nice and smooth. The focus on my camera, unfortunately, is struggling. Don't know why I put it in front of all this detail. But the pan is nice and smooth as long as I'm this close to the camera. But as I get further and further back, you'll notice up until here, it's kind of usable. It's okay. But then it starts getting pretty jerky at this point. So the AI camera is actually tracking me still, but it just seems to be struggling with the pan motion. It's not actually a nice smooth pan, it just seems to be bit by bit. But if you just want to do a short piece of the camera like this, where you're about 5 feet away from the camera, which is suitable for like vlogging and video chatting and things like that, which is probably more what this gimbal is designed for, then obviously the pan motion works really well. The tracking is really, really accurate. Even in harsh lighting conditions like this, it's working quite well. So actually it's very, very smooth as long as you sort of stay a fair distance away from it. And perhaps the most interesting feature, and in my opinion this gimbal's biggest downfall, you don't even have to use your phone. You can just slide in a camera of your choice. In this case it's a DJI Osmo Action, and it will track you around the room seamlessly. With this, the possibilities are actually endless. Or they would be if you could actually fit any camera into here. Obviously being a smartphone gimbal, it's designed around phones, so the clamp on the front is not in focus. There you go. So the clamp on the front is really designed for phones. So it's hard to actually put any camera in here and make it be secure. I think this was the perfect opportunity for Hohem to make a gimbal that can turn any action camera or just small travel, lightweight, portable camera into a camera that can track you. But I think they missed the mark on that. Also, in a world of TikTokers and video conferences, obviously the camera faces the front. So as you're holding the gimbal, it's kind of facing you. It would have been amazing to have the option to flip this AI camera around so you can use the main cameras on your phone. Obviously much better quality, and sometimes you don't want to film yourself and you're filming other things and you want to track them. Other than the star feature though, this gimbal is pretty much average, and actually it kind of fell short in a lot of places too. I struggled to balance my iPhone 12 Pro with the case. and it kind of balances without the case, but you do have to get it exactly right in terms of where you put it in the clamp. And if you're just looking for the best stability in a phone gimbal, this one's probably not the one. There's probably better ones on the market. But if you're using a bit of a lighter weight phone and really want the AI camera feature, then maybe it'll work better for you. All in all, this gimbal is a new idea, and I'm always up for new ideas. The AI camera actually works really well with just a simple hand gesture, and the gimbal is kind of good for part-time TikTokers or video callers, or just people who like to film stuff on their phone. I feel like it fell short in some of its core functionality as a gimbal. It just wasn't that stable sometimes. It wouldn't calibrate, it was a little bit wonky at times as well. And also it wouldn't hold some of the heavier phones. But I can't help but think the AI camera is actually a perfect opportunity for the next version to have a little tripod screw so you can put in a GoPro Hero 10, Osmo Action, or even an Insta360 Go 2 and change those cameras into cameras that can track you. I think that's where the real excitement comes from this product. And I really hope they bring this into the next version. If you made it this far, then thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this on videography and photography on the go, then hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This thing is really sticky. It does follow you quite well. I'm impressed.